Hi everyone, and thanks again for tuning into Pugs and Stilettos. For those of you that are new to my channel, welcome. Returning subscribers, good to see you again. So I know a lot of us have a lot of extra time on our hands, and if you have any nagging children at home, you're having many requests of items that they would like you to make for them. So my son has these dust bags for his Gucci sneakers that he has purchased, and he wants me to make for him a little toiletry bag out of this. So I made him this with a matching blue invisible zipper along with the lining inside that matches, and I'm going to walk you through step by step on how I make this. And I even left the made in Italy Gucci little tag inside because sometimes, I mean, we all have tons of these little dust bags laying around the house, and this is something that we could put it to good use. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to convert this into this. So for this project, you're going to need a really good pair of scissors because, quite frankly, if you are someone who sews, you never use your scissors for fabric. You should have a separate one for paper when you're cutting out patterns, and you should never let anyone use your scissors. And this is a really good brand. I will link it below if you want any more information on that. But this is a really good, heavy pair of scissors. Cuts like a dream. So scissors, an 11-inch zipper. This is a blue one. This is an invisible one. It's the only one I actually have, but it does the trick. You could use any kind of zipper. You want to use a more industrial one. It's up to you, whatever you have on hand. I just liked it because it's the blue and it matches the little Gucci sign on this. You're also going to need a seam ripper. And you could also use a scissor for this. A rotary cutter. You're going to need a ruler. And you're going to need some clips to help you hold the zipper and the fabrics in place. These are very important to have, and I just keep them handy. Trust me, you're going to need a lot of these, so it's good to have them. But if you're a person that sews, you already have a lot of these things. So one of the first things that you're going to have to decide is how big you want your pouch. So if I want this semi-centered, you have to allow for seam allowances. You're going to have to open the pouch on one side. Not only the black outside, but also the white lining that's inside. You're going to have to open it on one side unless you're going to totally decompose the whole thing and just take out all the stitches and then start from scratch, which that wasn't necessary when I made this one. So all I had to do was cut it to the length that I wanted, opened up one side, and I actually cut across the bottom, because you're going to have to invert if you want to make sure that your zipper ends up nestled, as you see here. And when you open the zipper, it's going to be nestled nice and neat like this. Now, I will tell you this. If you do not open both sides, you will not be able to do that little top stitching that you could do right along the edge right here, to make sure that the fabric kind of stay flat. Which I have to say that it really doesn't matter. In this case, it does sit pretty flat and it zips up pretty smooth. So you won't be able to do that top stitch at the very top if you don't open the whole thing. So I'm feeling a little lazy right now, so I'm only opening one side. All right. So once you decide the length and the size of the pouch that you want, what I did was, just to make sure that I have a straight line, you kind of want to make sure you smooth everything out. Make sure I'm in frame. You want to make sure that you smooth everything out. And then you want to kind of line out. Actually, you know, there's one more piece of, one more tool that you would need, which is chalk. So you can get this, you could even use regular chalk. I use this. They come in different colors. Since this is a black material, you want a lighter color. So you got to remember, if you're going to cut here, you have to give yourself at least, you know, 3/4 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, so that you have some form of lip that you can be able to turn in. So we're going to kind of guesstimate here. I think I'm okay with this size here. Okay, so you have your line there. I think that'll be probably the only time you're going to need a ruler, so you could probably put your ruler and your chalk away, so you can clear out some of the things off your desk. And what you're going to do now is simply grab your scissors, your fabric scissors, I always like to go in here and make sure that everything inside is out of the way. Nice and neat. And you're just going to cut over. Okay. Now I end up cutting a little bit above the line because that's just me. And I'm going to cut across, and you're going to see how smooth these scissors cut. And I just have to be honest, I do hide these because my family will try to come into my craft room and use my items. And if you're looking for a scissor, you're going to grab the first one you see. So why set them up to grab something that I would not want them to use? So of course I leave others out that they could use. So when you do this, now you're going to want to get your seam ripper, and you're going to open up one side. So you're going to pick a side. This one already kind of started. So you're going to grab this and you're just going to go down and open up all the way down. And you're going to do the same for both this side and the inside lining. And I'm going to open the back. So I'm going to do that off camera, and I'll be right back. We're going to have to open the bottom here. So you want to make sure that you have it completely lined up. And you're going to just, actually I used a rotary cutter at this point. Which actually I think I might use the scissors, because when I used the rotary cutter the last time, it gave me a little bit of a hard time, especially when you get to the parts where the seams are. So I'm just going to use the scissor, and I'm just going to cut across. So this way, if you don't have a rotary cutter, you don't have to feel bad about, oh, I don't have a rotary cutter. You can just use your scissor. So here we go. Beautiful. Okay, so now we have it like this, and it's like this. You see the little tag is inside. This I also made into another bag, which is the top part of it with the drawstring. I actually just ended up sewing the inside and then making a little hem and closing it up, so you end up with a little sack. So I'll show you how I did this one as well. So now what you're going to do when you have it like this, you're going to get yourself your zipper. Now there's a whole process when it comes to using the zipper. Remember, this is a blind zipper, so this is the side, not this one, it's this one. So I'm going to grab, it goes, so we have the material, the zipper, and then the outside facing down, and you're going to make like a little sandwich. So you're going to line this up, and then you're going to take this to the sewing machine and stitch it. Just line everything up neatly. This part can sometimes be a little tricky. I know it has stumped me a couple of times. It almost got me in this project as well. But, you know, it's trial and error, and that's how we learn. So we're going to go to this, the machine now. If you want to check to see, you open this, it's a sandwich, all right? So I'm going to go sew this, and I will be right back. So here we have it, what we sewed here ends up like this. So if we opened this here, let's say this is the inside, and there's your lining on the inside. Okay, so now we're going to sandwich the other side and do the same thing. So now we're going to grab the lining, like this. We gotta open this a little. We're gonna grab the lining, and then this one goes this way. All right. So now we grab. So again, we sandwich, and we sandwich here, and we sandwich here. So you keep doing this, as I said before, you get the other side. We line it all up, and then we sew it, and I'll go off to the sewing machine, and we'll give it another go. I will be right back after sewing this. Okay? Alrighty, so we sewed the zipper. Just a quick look before we close up all the edges. So here we have the outside and the inside. You guys see that? The outside and the inside. So what we're going to do now is leave the zipper open. We're going to turn the bag inside out, and we are going to close off all the edges. So you can close off the outer side completely. Leave the zipper open. You're going to close the side completely, and then you're going to close like about this much and leave that middle section open so you can reach in and turn the bag inside out. I'm going to go off to sew this and I'll be right back. Alright, so we finished sewing the bag. As I said, leave a hole at the bottom. What you're going to do is you're going to try to stick your hand or your fingers through. You're going to bring this side and you're going to invert the whole bag like this. You're going to check all your seams to make sure that they're all closed and push out all of the corners. So for example, you're going to want to come back down here and push out these corners so that they are nice and pointy. You may sometimes need to use something to help you poke them out. You poke those out as well. You'll have to go in now and then sew that up. Let me just grab these little threads, and pretty much there is your bag. So you have an invisible zipper, you have the lining sewn in. All you got to do now is just close the lining on the inside, and you are done with a Gucci dust bag DIY little toiletry bag that I made out of the shoe dust bags that come with either the sneakers or the sandals or whatever you get from Gucci. So if you have a little extra time on your hands and you want to make something out of those dust bags, make a toiletry bag. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in to Pugs and Stilettos. Be well and stay safe. Bye-bye.